It is 6:30, October 27, 2025. I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Old Saybrook Police Commission to order. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, all commissioners present and accounted for. Item 2 on our agenda, comments from the public. Anyone in the live audience wishing to comment?
Is there another one at the end?
Yes, there is.
Yes.
How about in our virtual audience? Would you please raise your hand if you'd like to comment at this time? Larry?
No hands are raised.
Okay, correspondence, I have none. Any other commissioners?
No, thank you.
All right, item 4, discussion and possible action on the meeting minutes. First, our September 15, 2025 regular meeting.
I move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion, any corrections, any modifications? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or with abstentions? None. September 25, 2025 special meeting.
I move to approve. Second.
Any discussion, any corrections, any comments?
No, thank you.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? We're chugging along. Executive reports. Chief, it's up. The floor is yours.
Thank you.
Well, I'm gonna start with the operating budget. Current. So the few things looking at this is the monthly report. Our expenses from July 1st to October 15th roughly. And I just want to kind of point out some accounts that are possibly going into red that might be a little concerned about. I know you pointed out one as well. I just wanted to talk about them. Starting with field services, the regular employees, the salary account. We started the year with $2,540,000. We're projecting as of today, if we didn't do any hiring right now, we're projecting about $137,000 that we're not going to spend in that account right now. As we go on with the year, obviously we'd like to hire. The longer we go, the larger that savings will be. The vacation day coverage, which is overtime, we're tracking about a $55,000 savings as of today. And this is how I get to these numbers is I look at that number divided by 52. We're in the 15th week of the month and it kind of track how we're spending based on being in the 15th week.
It's the 50th week of the month on the
15th.
15th.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, of the year.
Okay.
So we're in good shape for all those. There's a few that I'm a little concerned about. The additional hours, which we're going to start cutting back on. That's when we special events, when we have special investigations, when we really have to have extra officers on staff. That's the account we use, the overtime account to spend. If we continue on the pace, we'll be about $8,000 overspent by the end of the year. So we're going to try to trim that up a little bit where we can. All the other ones are kind of tracking where I need them to track for overtime. And I think we're on pace for field services. When I move over to support services accounts, the same thing that the salaries, we have one vacancy there. That's one thing I should have mentioned on the field services. Right now, we're with 2 vacancies on the officers, police officers for field services. That's accounting for that surplus. Support services, we do have 1 vacancy for a dispatcher. We're tracking about a $30,000 savings on that. I hope to fill that. So we might eat up some of that surplus, but right now it looks like about $30,000 surplus. Where we're not doing well is again the extra personnel. If we track the way we are, we'll be about $14,000 overspent if we don't control the spending on that account. And that's where you save on salary, you spend on additional personnel. So we're backfilling the vacancies with overtime hiring. So that's why that's tracking a little high.
Okay.
We'll move on to the police general expenditures. This is the one that Police Commissioner Chair Wilcox did point out. And we have an account here it's the general expenditures purchase professional SC account. It was budgeted at 0, but we spent $16,996 out of that. What that is, I believe it's a placeholder from finance. It's the expenditures from the consulting group, public safety consultants, and the background investigation. It was $14,000 for the consulting and the selection process, and then $2,000 for the background investigation for myself.
So, sorry, SE, what does that stand for?
Services.
Oh, it just cut off. Okay, got it.
Thank
Got
you.
it.
I did not know. The other one that we're in the negative is the police PD general expenditure repairs and maintenance. That's our vehicle repairs.
Oh, okay.
And that's kind of as expected. We're $5,000 overspent. We're spending a lot of money right now at Grossman Chevrolet for repairs to the Tahoes. They're on their fourth year of life. We're starting to get some high mileage on these cars. So we're having to do additional repairs. We're starting the budget process now. That's trying to project what we need for the coming year. Vehicles will be one of the asks this year. So hopefully next year, we won't have that additional expenses. Off budget accounts, I'm moving on to. There really wasn't a lot of spending in these, since I've been here. But there's really not a lot to report. Not much has come across my desk. We did spend $9,000 on some HVAC repairs to the building. The computer, the diagnostic system that controls all the zones in the building went, and we needed more of an emergency repair. But that wasn't out of any of these. That was out of the one of the insurance accounts that Leanne found that, somewhere in finance. Wasn't any of the police accounts, so, but that was a $9,000 expenditure.
Okay.
That was the only large expenditure I've had since I took an office. Everything else is really nothing to highlight. Any of them, if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to address it.
Yes, I did have a question. I noticed there are a couple of contributions that have come in. Could you explain to me what's the rationale for putting them in the fund that they've gone into instead of going into the Old Saybrook Police Fund?
So the one I know about, we had a $250 donation. Jen, that was designated in the letter that that person wanted to designate
The
this.
check, we wrote it to this account.
Okay,
So, I mean, if they leave it up to our discretion, then it can go, I guess, wherever, but they actually put uniforms. in our
Okay.
account.
good answer. Thank you.
Yep.
So I also have a question.
Yeah.
The driver safety fund, I understand like mostly what I'm looking at. What I don't understand, and this is my bad for not paying attention to this particular fund. Who, like, why is there a $445 golf cart payment from person, like a deposit? Is that all grouped together?
It's a bunch of registrations.
Yeah, Jen,
Okay,
I know.
so it's, so I don't know if they did
Well,
it in the, okay, got it. No, I got that, yep. Okay.
So that's all I have for the accounts.
Thank you very much. Any questions?
I have a question on the off-budget account. Last year I looked back on our reports from September of last year, and there was an account in this line item called law enforcement fund balance, which was 0. And that's not listed. Is it not listed because it was a 0 balance?
That's the account that had to get closed.
We eliminated.
We eliminated.
That
No,
was,
Got closed and it's now, any money goes into the police, funded.
the police fund?
Yes.
Okay,
And I am gonna try to do that in the coming budget to kind of streamline our accounting, if you will.
okay,
Especially for overtime. I'd like to kind of narrow down,
yeah,
instead of having every overtime expense delineated in the budget. I'd like to try to do a larger sum and explain it in the background exactly what it's the number.
okay.
Cause it is a little confusing.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, was this something that we had and we no longer have? And I said, I just needed my own reminder clarification. So thank you for that. Then the other thing was the general expenditures for other supplies. Is that office supplies or supplies for the police officers?
That's on the off budget or?
No, that's just on the PD expenditure list towards the bottom. It's 15,500. We spent 4,300 so far. I was just wondering what other supplies,
Yeah.
what does that entail?
Daniel probably help me with this. What do we use that? account for?
So, office supplies comes out of the administrative, admin supplies. Other supplies is where we pay for like Sky's food, any kind of extra equipment. We've got like the taser batteries and stuff from that. So it's basically it covers any other equipment needs or anything like that.
Okay,
So sometimes communities, like community events stuff comes out of that. It's kind of a,
just like a generic.
kind of, yeah.
Okay,
Grab bag.
Well, so building on that though, if we have a canine account and that obviously Sky should be fed whenever, obviously, but why are we not feeding Sky a canine account?
Are you talking about an off-budget account?
No, the other ones, yeah. Like, so we have the field service canine.
No, so
That's for off-
that pays for the.
Oh,
stipend,
oh, got it.
yes.
Yep,
Yeah.
forgot, sorry.
that was just. the other question. That's it for me.
Anyone else?
That's well said.
Okay,
So I'd like to move on to the personnel matters.
yes, please.
So right now, we're operating with 23 officers. And so it gives us 2 vacancies for patrol officers. Now we have 1 vacancy for emergency communications dispatcher. We have started assessing some candidates to fill those vacancies. We started with 9 for the entry-level police candidates. Only 3 passed the oral board and written testing. So we have backgrounds going for 3 candidates right now on the entry level. We do have 1 lateral, which we haven't done any testing or backgrounds for yet. We just got that in last week, I believe. And for the dispatcher vacancies, we had 3 candidates. We're down to 1 after the testing. 1 didn't show up and only 1 passed.
Is the dispatcher full-time or part-time?
We'd like to hire a full-time. Right now, we have a couple part-timers, which we will keep on. There's really no expense to us, besides training to keep them on. So, you know, they will backfill, as needed. I think it's a safe bet to keep a couple part-timers on,
Okay.
even when we do hire the full-timer.
Is the 1 lateral sufficient years in service that the town would not have to reimburse?
Yeah, the only, I'm not overly hopeful. He is an out-of-state lateral transfer.
Oh,
So we do have to do a comparative analysis with the police academy.
Mm.
Essentially, we have to ask for permission to see if this is a candidate that we can't accept without sending to the police academy. We do have 1 officer that is still out injured, with a foot injury, and we expect him to be back potentially November. That's really all the personnel issues that I wanted to bring up. Professional development. We'll have Lieutenant Millardo address professional development, and then I'll come back and I want to talk about a few administrative things.
So the department had the 2nd class for the National Traffic Incident Management Responder Training. So now most officers are trained in that, as I explained last month. We also had Sergeant Tanner and Officer Simpson attend the CPCA Officer Wellness Symposium, which talked about surviving on the job, best practices related to emotional and psychological wellness of officers. And it's supposed to also help you develop programs for the department and keeping officers ready for all the challenges of police work. I recently attended the FBI LEDA Supervisory Leadership Institute course, and I learned about credibility, authenticity, liability, discipline, disc behavior analysis, which is a fun thing if you ever want to Google disc analysis. You can learn how to talk with different people, how to have some team building, communication, how to discipline, how to deal with people, because we all have different personalities, basically. So it's a very fun course. Detective Sergeant Williams took the FBI LEDA Executive Leadership course, which talked about leadership in the 21st century, building trust and procedural justice, strategic planning, officer wellness and safety. And it talked about the personnel crisis of recruiting, hiring, and retention. We had Sergeant Tanner that attended the 3-day EMT recertification, so she's good for another couple of years. We also had Officer Kosick attend the responding to situations involving people with mental illness. And that class would deal with both adults and juveniles who are frustrated or angry, how to communicate and assess and intervene effectively. We have Sergeant Moore that's currently taking the methods of instruction, also known as the basic instructor development course. So after he takes this course, he'll be a certified post instructor, so he'll be able to teach courses to the rest of the department.
Is he?
We also did a lot of trunk or treats at the Goodwin School, Park and Rec, and St. John's. And we are ready for Halloween Candy Patrol on Halloween, so you'll see us out.
Can't wait.
Thank you. Any questions?
All right, we're gonna move on to the activity report. Just a few things, and I'll answer any questions if nobody has any questions about the stats. Few outliers to me, looking at the stats from an outsider, essentially. The thing that bothered me about these stats for the year-to-date totals, and I've actually been able to dispel a few of them. Burglary seemed high, for a town of 10,000 residents. 17 burglaries seemed way too high for my comfort. So we looked into that a little bit. It's more of a coding error, not an error. It's a coding issue. Yeah, so we're classifying car break-ins technically by state statute. Entering a car is a burglary. So that's why that number is so high. This attributes to some car break-ins. Ted Sergeant, is it 3 residential for the year? Does that sound right?
Right now, we just had a commercial.
Yeah, so we're tracking, I don't want to see any, but we're not at 17. And that was something that bothered me, but
Is there a way to break that out on the report?
I'm gonna try, because I don't like seeing it either. I'd rather see residential versus motor vehicle. And then this one I can't dispel. 117 frauds for the town for the year so far. It's a lot. We do have higher population of elderly residents here. And I think they are our #1 victims or #1 targets for the frauds. I am working on something for that in mind. So I met with last week, the Director of Investigations for Consumer Protection. A lot of these frauds right now are, a lot of them are home improvement frauds, service fraud, and there's some banking fraud stuff going on, but a lot of it is home improvement based. So we're gonna partner with Consumer Protection and the Secret Service, and we're gonna bring some awareness classes. Just a community discussion in the coming months, maybe a series of them, and just bring awareness to the type of frauds and how do you prevention and protect yourself from these. I think it's our best way to try to get ahead of it. Really the message to our residents is, if you're not sure, call somebody, and don't make that decision, right? Start giving out information. Call us, let us vet it for you, and we'll let you know if it's a legit issue, scam, what it is. So I want to put something together and just start getting that messaging out. I know social media, we could put it out on social media, but we don't get to everybody that way, especially our elderly residents. So I'd like to put the actually in-person community meetings with the Secret Service, our detectives, and Consumer Protection. Just kind of have a series.
Okay. 2 questions.
Yeah.
Are these categories mandated by federal law?
So they're NIBIN, so yes, to a degree they are. I mean, we can make some alterations. We could adjust how we show you these.
Okay.
When we code out the calls, there's certain parameters that we have to use when we code out a call, and that's for the FBI reporting. So, but there is, just thousands of them. But yeah,
We're not constrained by that.
no, well, we're constrained to how we report it, but I'm not constrained to how I report to you.
Right.
So I can break it down a little more narrower for you.
Perfect. And then my other question was, in the category of fraud, if a homeowner is unhappy with the service they got and don't feel like they should have to pay for it, does that end up in this category?
No, that would be more of a civil.
That's what I would think.
Yeah, so I mean, there's categories for civil disputes, neighbor disputes, things like that. Fraud is really the deception, you know, usually it's also the loss of property too. So we got to see, I'm not sure how we classify attempted fraud, if that's in that category or not, but I will check that.
Okay, thank you.
So I have a question as well. On the suicidal person attempting suicide line for both shoots.
Mhm.
I mean, of course, people go through, is that like adults or is it below? And I don't need to know the statistics. Like, do we group everybody together?
So in next gen, there's categories that will show us that, but
Okay.
we group it for this
We
purpose.
group it all together. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know that I want to delineate it here.
Yeah, no, of course, no, no. of course,
So-
But, okay. Got it.
The estuary might be a good avenue for some of those fraud programs.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
if you-
right, bring them there.
I think if you brought them there, there's a lot of people that do use that service, but I think it's mostly just during the day.
Yeah, that's
I don't know if
fine.
And they have
any-
lunch too.
Yeah, they do
serve
lunch there,
That's why I want to make it a series of, you know, it'll probably be the same messaging,
right,
but bring it to different
Yeah.
pockets. Yeah, it'll be quick. It's,
Or the library,
yep. Yeah, so I think we're
the
gonna,
estuary would be great.
any more questions on the stats?
No,
No.
So I just have a few administrative things. I just wanted to kind of let you know what we're doing, what we're working towards.
Can I interrupt you now?
Yes.
Before we jump over, from last month, we talked about Sergeant Ciccone, that he's back in good health, and there was a question if he was going back on the road or if he was gonna stay admin. Is he on the road?
On the road.
Oh, yes, great.
Yep.
Oh,
He's
that's
supposed to be.
fantastic. Glad
Yeah.
to hear that.
We're happy to have him back.
Yeah,
He's helping quite a bit with the fleet too,
good.
so he took on that role. And
That's
it's,
nice.
it's definitely needed. So we just, you know, just started, me and Jen and, Lieutenant Millar is gonna be helping with our budget presentation, preparation rather. For the 26-27 fiscal year. We're meeting with vendors now regarding, vehicle replacements and fleet planning. There's a few other options that we haven't necessarily explored. They met with Chief DeMayo from Clinton. There's an option for, believe it or not, enterprise rental car to lease vehicles to us. And I guess it's a very good cost option. You get the same cars, it's just they source them differently. And if they are below the state bid. So I haven't seen that happen yet. So I'm optimistic about that. We are gonna schedule a meeting with them and see what that looks like for our future purchases of cars. But our budget planning is gonna focus on personnel, officer development and training, technology and the fleet right now is where we're focusing. Another topic, we are still working on the scheduling software. We're still in the evaluation phase. We're working with the finance department because I need a software, scheduling software that's going to talk with e-finance for the payroll piece. So we can buy into 1,000 different programs, but if they're not gonna help us with payroll, it really doesn't do a lot for us. So I don't want to have multiple different programs. I'd rather just get one that does it all. We're looking at Hero Schedule and In Time. So Clinton and East Lyme are both using those programs with high degree of success right now. We're just trying to make sure that it works with our system. So I'm hoping in the next month or so, we'll be at least in test phase for that and moving forward with that. I talked about the community engagement, the scam and fraud awareness with the consumer protection. And I did just complete my local traffic authority training. So I am certified now. And one of the things I'd like to start to look at is doing a proposal. Obviously, I'll have to talk to this board and the first selectman to making the center of town, Main Street 154, pedestrian safety zone. And what that would do for us, it would allow us to change the speed limits to reduce it if we felt the need. You can go down as low as 20 miles an hour. It also will help us in the future for some of our project planning if we wanted to add some infrastructure changes in terms of they call it road diets, making the road smaller, bicycle lanes, raised crosswalks. It just makes the DOT process much smoother And there's a lot more funding for the areas that are designated as pedestrian safety zones. Obviously that requires DOT approval, but I'd be willing to take that on and to put a proposal together. And the other thing I'm looking at, and I don't know the temperature for this yet, in town or in this commission or even in the first selectman's office, but the automated traffic enforcement safety device program, which is the red light and speed cameras. A lot of towns are going to it. You could scale it to whatever large or small that you want, red lights or speed. Areas of town that I would focus on are school zones, pedestrian zones, would really be the main focus. I think Clinton's about to go live with them. They included red light. I'd have to assess that a little more. I think I'd be more interested in speed than anything here. To that note, there is a Zoom class that I'm going to be attending, and police commissioners are also invited to attend. It's just an informational class that
Yeah.
UConn, the 2-2 program puts on.
You want this?
So just food for thought, if we wanted to have a informed discussion on it.
Maybe I'll do it right away. Thank you.
Thank you. So that's all I have for that. I do have the event calendars. I know.
Any questions on the
So I did have a question on the fleet. You said that the possible, and I know that it's just, you're tearing right into it. Now, would the SRO cars as well be leased if you were to do a whole fleet change, or are we gonna?
No, so we probably.
It's a discussion, right?
It is.
Okay.
I think that would be too large of a purchase. So we focus on probably the 8 patrol cars. Then depending if we trade in or we don't, how many, I think some of the cars that are coming out of patrol would then
Go there.
become the SROs or the extra duty cars. I actually didn't give Detective Sergeant an opportunity. Did you have anything you wanted to address with activity in town?
No, good, they've been great. Our numbers are right on pace. We did, we did the Tim's class, and they actually brought up the stats for all departments in the state and actually tracks you year by year. We were actually on pace to do 1,000 more than we did last year. So our guys are doing a great job. Like Chief alluded to, the speeding is obviously an issue around town, which we know about. We get called on it a lot. Our guys are being great. They're going out being proactive, and we're getting a lot of speed enforcement out there, which is good. Again, not always tickets from us. We do all kinds of enforcement, but I think the cameras that Chief was alluding to about a huge deterrent for people speeding around town, which we good for. Our numbers are tracking excellent. They were actually very surprised. The 2 state DOT reps that came and taught the class were very surprised by that, because a lot of other towns in the area are actually trending either flat or they're going down. We're actually going up, which is nice. So our guys and girls are doing a great job. So.
Yeah, I'm very pleased with that. For the year, we have 1,800 motor vehicle stops, which is high, especially for a department of 25 officers. And like the terms of the speed cameras, the whole, it's not a revenue thing. It should never be about making money. It's about changing behaviors. And I think that's what those do. They're projecting about 80% change in behavior based on the speeds within the year. And that's what we're trying to do.
took me one warning on I-95 and I changed my behavior.
Well, nobody stopped at the stoplight at the end of Lynn. Nobody stopped. More people drive through. I wait like 10 seconds before I go, because somebody always blasts through there.
I've ridden with you. I've ridden with you.
I know.
So this is actually a question for Williams and Millardo. You guys didn't have your annual, like where you guys all get together at the fireman's field, right? And you talk and you go over and you debrief and you give your input. Is that something that you guys think that you guys should do soon, or can we wait till summer? What would you?
Well, since we just
No, I
got
know.
a new chief
Yeah.
this month, we need to
Yeah.
kind of assess everything before we come
Right.
up with that plan to
Okay.
have a strategic planning with the whole.
Well, of
department.
course, if you guys need it, just
Yeah.
throw for it, so.
The chief was great. He's gonna meet with all of us individually, set up
Good.
time.
Okay.
Meet with every single person that works in that building.
Awesome, okay.
Before you move on to the calendar, on the vehicles, are we leaning towards a Ford or a Chevy or?
I think I'd like to, I gotta see the numbers.
Okay.
I'd like to stay with the Tahoes because I don't want to replace the equipment.
Right,
There's probably about $15,000 to $20,000 worth of equipment in each of those cars.
right, because we had to especially fit those because it wasn't the same as the Fords.
Right. I don't want to go backwards and do that again.
hopefully they fix their engine packages. And the other thing is we definitely would not purchase SRO cars. That just doesn't, you're, just have a car sit there. That's the worst thing for a car.
That's not what I,
Yeah.
was- that's not what I.
You
was
would hand
suggesting.
down the other
Right,
ones,
right,
like
right.
we've done.
Yes, that's, yeah. I just wanted to make sure that, I don't know, I guess the whole leased aspect of having a leased car at a school ground, I don't, that's just weird in my head, so.
Yeah, we use the term lease. I don't really know why we use the term. We own the cars up for years.
Okay, got it.
And we're able to trade them in. But yeah, the SRO's cars aren't ones we would be replacing. With the focus, it has to be the patrol fleet.
Would you be able to, maybe next month or as we get closer to more of a deeper dive into this, provide us with, a list of the vehicles that you have that are ready to go off lease or vehicles that you think are, you're gonna offload or repurpose, sell that, so we kind of
Yeah.
have more of an idea of where we are presently and where you want to go and how to get there.
Yep, yeah, we've already started trying to assess the fleet, the mileage and the hours on the engine. So I can report that to you.
That would
Um,
be helpful, because we know that, the cars are spending a lot of time down the street, so.
Yeah, I mean, they're on their fourth year. I don't think there's even a budget line this year because I don't think we're paying lease payments on them right now. I think we're into the free zone. So, you know, I would project probably 8 is what I'd be asking for. I don't know. I can see the numbers, see if that's a reasonable request or not, but we haven't really got down to the nitty gritty. I know that the state bid for the vehicles is $53,000 right now. When we purchased them last time, they're 37,000. So there was a big hike in 4 years on, I think, all vehicles, not just Tahoes.
Oh, yeah,
So we are
yeah.
gonna have to absorb some of that. That means we have to look at less cars. That's what we have to do. But
Yeah, I think knowing what we have and what you're projecting would be a good cross comparison.
right.
But didn't purchase them like 6 years ago and they sat there for so long,
No, it
right?
was during COVID. We ordered them during COVID. They
Then
sat,
you had to get
and then we had to wait for all the
remarked.
equipment that had a retrofit.
Right, right. So they were on the road for maybe 4 years.
What their
right?
in-service date is from when you purchase them.
Yeah,
Your in-service date from the dealer is different than when they actually got on the road
right,
here.
right. That's what, yeah. I'm not correct.
And we should have a spreadsheet of, there should be a spreadsheet of all the vehicles with all the mileage and the hours, which would obviously have to be updated, but we've been given that before,
Yeah,
so
it's in the budget though.
it's somewhere, yeah.
But there, and that's what we've been working off of, trying to
Yeah.
update that. And the only other thing I have is I know you requested event calendars. This is community engagement events.
I
Uh,
love calendars.
So
Jack's
October.
so excited.
I know we're at the end of October.
Yeah,
Nice.
I wish they were like, you know,
You want it laminated?
compatible, no, compatible with my phone, but that's.
Maybe the next one. There we go.
Can we have 3 pictures that go above it?
Yeah, you know.
I don't see the cookies blocked.
Yeah, now.
Oh, come on, no pumpkins. Oh, great.
So I
That's not
appreciate the
good.
event calendar as well. I personally.
Oh, pardon me.
got it from the government thing, you know, SNAP benefits are definitely not coming for November. And I know that we do a really big, you know, turkey events for Thanksgiving. Is there, and I know it's fresh, but should we be planning anything else, like to help people, or is that something that I reach out to the family, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how do I
Um,
do it?
But yeah, I mean, youth and family takes the majority of that, right? So the labor.
Yeah.
But if there's a need, I mean, we're not gonna ignore it. I know, so in Hamden, Bazzuto's, the trucking, they do the Hometown Foundation, the
Okay.
Special Olympics. They donate 600 turkeys every year. So I could start
Okay.
calling around if there is a need. From what I've heard, we've kind of had excess in the past year or so.
Well, yes,
They're very
this year,
generous.
this year is gonna be.
Well, we used to do the turkey donation at Stop and Shop.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's on the calendar.
Yeah.
So Jessica, are you
It's like
saying that
saying-
people need food for the rest of the month?
I'm sort of like thinking, yeah.
Well, that's
Okay,
what I'm
Shoreline
wondering,
Soup Kitchen and Pantry, Youth and Family Services, the estuary takes care of a lot of the elderly. There are other avenues.
Okay, well, yes, Sarah, I just think it's something coming back to mind because
No, thank you. I
they're,
agree.
they're cutting
The
off.
fire department sometimes does a food drive. There's a lot of places that do.
No, I mean, yeah, obviously, if we come across somebody that needs anything,
Obviously, yes,
we're gonna,
that's not.
we're gonna do what
like-
we have to do and
Yeah,
get the resources, you know.
well, I'm also, you know, aware of a lot of kids in school that rely on these benefits and they're being cut. So if there's anything I can do to help promote, another event that maybe you guys want to do, I'm there. That's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So-
no, thank you. Thank you for that, my radar.
All right. Finish with the executive reports?
Yeah, unless anybody has a question.
Oh, thank you, that was excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, item 6, discussion and possible action regarding the designation of Chief Onofrio as the local traffic authority. Our current designated local traffic authority was our acting chief, Brian Walsh. He's no longer with us. I think it makes perfect sense, and I would invite a motion.
No move.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
No, but I'm really excited.
Congratulations on completing your training.
Thank you.
And you, all in favor?
Aye.
Carries unanimously. Item 7 may be a little bit premature. Discussion and possible action regarding the approval of uniform purchases for the chief. Under the chief's employment contract, you may remember the chief and the commission are to agree on his uniforms. So far, as I understand it, in talking with him, he's been very circumspect, if not even limited in his purchases. And he's expecting an invoice any day. What's it cover, chief? How many? What have you got?
Because I'm coming from one agency or not, there's a lot of things that, pants and things that I have. Some of my shirts, I was able to just change the patches, but I didn't want to spend unnecessary money, so I went to a uniform store and all I asked for was 3 shirts, 3 pants, boots, and a pair of shoes. And a tie.
I move that we approve the expenditure incurred in connection with those purchases. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yes, discussion.
Aye.
And I have shared my views on this with you already, but, and I appreciate that it is coming from your mouth through the contract. But if we're going to approve this as a motion, what happens if he decides 6 months from now, he needs more things? Is he going to have to come back here to the commission again for approval? And whereas he would be the only police officer needing to do that. My feeling on this would be that we can amend that motion to suggest that perhaps the chair and the vice chair together could make this decision instead of having to wait for a meeting to come back to the full commission.
I would urge that to be a separate motion. Let's do it. Let's do a clean one here.
And now, where would the money come from? The general fund?
It is the budget.
There's a
It wouldn't
budget.
come from the police uniform / awards
No,
account?
No, it would come from the budget,
No, and
but the operating budget account.
that's my other point, is that that operating budget has already been approved in various forms with first selectmen, with us. So in my mind, that money's already been set aside for these things.
It's something that has to be done.
Right,
So
I think it's a
it's funny
non-issue.
that We're doing a
I
motion.
do too.
Exactly.
What do the officers get for uniforms? What do they have? How many do they get? You guys know how many uniforms you get?
They get a certain amount. It's a uniform, it's a uniform and cleaning amount. It's broken up in the
No,
budget
no, how
book.
many uniforms do they get? Like you have 2 shirts, 3 shirts, 10 shirts?
So it's changed every time, and when we did our committee, a couple years ago, we had a set amount. What would fit into that budget at that time that was decided upon. So it is always different, but I do have, I have a whole setup of all the clothes that we have.
I mean, what if somebody
For every-
rips their shirt?
Yeah, you have to be flexible.
They get a set amount.
Yeah.
So those replacements, we don't have to approve. I think I find it kind of, and that's probably our bad, that we even have to do this. Like, of course, we're gonna pay for the uniform. Like, the fact that we have to bring attention to it is just.
Yeah, there's line items in the budget that is for the chief and
Yeah.
for the uniforms, and so it is there.
Then
It's already
I
approved.
should just be discretionary to you. If you need something,
Just go get it.
go get it.
I
I
think,
mean, why do we have to
I don't
be?
even think we need a motion. It's kind of foolish. The guy can't be in civilian clothes, he's gotta have a uniform.
And the seasons change, so, you know.
Of course, you might wanna wear a short year round.
I do. I think it should just be discretionary up to the chief.
I wholeheartedly agree.
You do.
What, well, line item does it
Okay.
come out of? That's all I wanted.
Here's my suggestion. Right now, we have a contract that has this requirement. So let's pass this motion and then we can talk about how to fix it. And I would think the way to fix it would be to amend the contract, not to just ignore the.
So where were Chief Sparrow's uniforms paid from? Because I don't ever remember voting on that every year.
I'm sure that came out of the uniform.
Uniform.
Right.
It's the field service uniform cleaning, correct, but I think it comes.
No,
out
there's
of-
cleaning and there's uniforms.
No, no, no.
No, it's joint.
Oh, okay,
That-
sorry.
That one account is both.
So
Yeah.
I don't, but what I'm saying is when the chief needed, former chief needed something, it didn't come to
It
us
never
and we
came
said,
to
yes,
us.
you can get a jacket.
That's why I don't think we need a motion.
But I think to Chubb's point, it's written in the contract, so we have to address it.
I
We're
think-
not disputing the fact that he should have discretion.
I
We
think
just
we're
have
make-
to.
I think we're making this a bigger issue than it is right now. All we need to do tonight is approve the invoice, the payment of the invoice for the items that he's told us he's had to buy. We can also go forward, although it's not on the agenda, and at our next meeting, address how we fix this. If that is the consensus that we want to fix it. But I don't think that is embraced on the agenda tonight, and I don't think we need to do it tonight.
Well, the way this reads, why can't this just be, I mean, it doesn't say specifically for invoice number 1, 2, 3 from Capital
Exactly.
Uniform. So
Okay.
why can't the motion just be that
We approve.
any
Well,
purchases?
I'll take that. Looking at the language that I put in here, it is broad enough.
So from here on, it's discretionary. Is that what you're saying?
It just, we make a motion that the chief's uniforms are paid for,
Right.
done, like,
Big deal.
Right.
right.
Whether you order them today or
Or-
during the summer.
Okay,
If you want like a light
So you
green
need
coat,
to add that
go order it.
motion.
yes. We have to add that in, yeah,
You would need to modify.
the time frame from here on out.
Make it-
No, we don't even have to
No.
put that. You just have to say that we're gonna approve the
Approve the
purchase of uniform purchases for the chief of police.
That's it.
I mean, every time he needs a tie or, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
And you shouldn't have to pay for it and then wait for us to do that, like, yeah.
No, that would never
I
happen.
didn't pay out of
Well,
pocket.
yeah.
It's just, I went to the
Okay.
home store, they gave me what I needed.
I think we should just, as
Yeah.
you wrote in the agenda, just approve that so that moving forward, it's available to him to purchase the uniforms as he sees fit.
Okay,
I think it's written exactly how it has to be.
Yeah.
I guess I feel like it's written like,
Well, here's what.
past
Here's
like the
what,
recent.
I will amend the motion.
okay, thank you.
I move that the commission approve uniform purchases at the discretion of the chief of police.
Who made this, who seconded it?
I second.
Okay, so, and you're okay with,
Yes, thank you. So all
Any
in-
further discussion?
Nope.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Oh, thank you.
Item 8, comments from the public. Is there anyone in the live audience wishing to? Sir. Please identify yourself if you would and stand close enough so that the mic can pick it up. Here's the microphone right there.
This alien looking thing.
Are you setting the timer, Jan? Does he know?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, no, it's-
They give you 3 minutes.
Correct. And if I need to raise my voice, first of all, say thank you, because you got me to raise my voice the last time, like 3 times, so I appreciate you. And I want to first of all thank and appreciate everybody here. And congratulations to the new chief.
Can you please state your name and address,
Yeah.
sir?
My name is Stephen Edwards, address is 323 Boston Post Road, Old Saybrook. I'd like to bring this community strong as a marriage. So that way there you know, this old Saybrook community is not provided. And I want to reopen a case that I sent you, if I can do that somehow. I don't know if you got did you get the email? You said you got my violent video that I sent you?
Yes, and
That
I
was
shared
just-
that with the commission.
That was just a
last month.
snippet. That was just a snippet, because he gets worse. He starts to hurt me while I'm unconscious, not moving. But we'll get on to that. I just want to go ahead and, there's violence in Old Saybrook, more than you know. And I'd like to point it out. I know a lot that's going on in this town, and I don't tell nobody. But now I'm gonna tell on people. Okay, like needles in the bathroom, not drug needles, steroid needles. There's roid rage going on, and they're infecting the youth in this town. It's super important. I protect the kids in this town. And I've been protecting these kids for 18 years to not use steroids because they're not good for you. You got to build the muscles up when you're in 7th grade. I started in 7th grade, but I don't want to talk about me. The kids want muscles fast. They're on the football team. You got to work hard and just earn it. You don't stick needles in your body to get muscles. So that's what I want to talk about. I only got three minutes. All right, so if there's 2 buckets, one gasoline, one water. I found one on fire. There was a police officer who threw a bucket of gas on me because I was in the hospital. Not good. But I still trust the Old Saybrook police, no matter what. If a police officer says I swung and missed at a punch, and the video clearly shows that I did not, the officer purposely lied on purpose to help the violent criminal. Why lie? Just tell the truth. Just tell the truth. I'm guilty in my part. I pushed the bully. What happens when you push a bully? Everybody already knows it. I'm not going to get into that. I was in the hospital. I came back. I told Maura, I waited. I said, Maura, did you see the video? How did I break my hand? Says, I didn't see the video. Maura asked Walsh, did you see the video? Walsh said, yes, I saw the video. Then I saw Maura later on with Egan. I showed Egan the video. Egan takes violence very seriously. He took it so seriously that Maura, once he became a sergeant, he showed Maura. Then Maura saw what he didn't see the first time because someone hid the video.
That's your 3 minutes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else in the room?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Mr. Looney.
First thing, since it might be the last meeting, some of you people. I think, I know this is a comment instead of a question, but that's gotta change in the next thing. Because you guys ran on, the Democrats ran on transparency. Can you tell me why you people did not get the perf report first? Why it went to the chief, the first selectman? I don't understand. It was your job to handle the results of the report. We paid 90,000 for it, and the chief gets to look at it first. That's one thing. The other thing is, oh. I got my thing first. Oh, 3 minutes is insufficient to get a point across, and it gotta be changed to a question, not a comment. Because the only way you can find out what you people are gonna do is you get an answer that the public knows about. You can't hide behind a comment just because I made a quick thing. You gotta be able to answer to the public. And the other thing, I'll think of it in 1 second, I'm losing it. The, Well, that's, the first report was one, and the other thing is, oh, why were you not active in the discussion of handling the dismissal of the chief? How did you let the first selectman handle the whole process without even consulting you? That is, it's against everything the state gave you your powers for. You do the hiring and the firing. And it should have been exposed to the public. We got 6 additional years given to a chief that already had problems within, that was never handled in the 15 years he was here.
Thank you, sir.
Please change that to 5 minutes at least.
Anyone else in the,
Yeah. Okay. My name is Dan Welch. I'm at 29 Elmwood Street in Old Saybrook. Just listening to your comments, I want to take issue with you because I think the commission over the last 6 years has done an admirable job in handling what was a difficult situation they inherited with a contract that was in place and legal concerns about expenses for if we are taken to court, as well as the character and quality of what it takes to negotiate effectively somebody entering into retirement. I spent 35 years in human resources. I was a senior executive for a billion-dollar corporation. I know exactly what happens when it's not in the public domain, but when people think the public domain acts like the private sector, that just isn't the way it works. I think this commission has done an admirable job. They've done it diligently. They've consulted across the board. I think it's been by and large bipartisan, and there's been effective and effective communication with all the public officials in town, which in my view is the kind of community that we want to have, the kind of oversight that I'd like to see us have and continue to have as we enter the next chapter of law enforcement in our town. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. Jim Shake, I'm the senior dispatcher with the Department of Police Services. Not a title that's bestowed on me by the agency, just means that they're around. I want to echo what this last gentleman said. I want to revisit what the chairman said last meeting. And he said to the effect that there will be nothing more important that we do as a commission than hiring the new chief of police. And there is an argument that that's pretty important stuff. But the most important thing that came before the commission that they handled, and the most important thing that came before the town and the Department of Police Services was the formation and the issuance of the PERF report. First selectman and the board of selectmen said, okay, we think we need a study. They put it out, resounding vote came back. Let's do the study. Then what the first selectman did was give this commission the ball and he let you run with it. And run with it you did. This commission did an unbelievable job in uncharted waters. Never have they been able to do this, people. Okay? The PERF report gave this commission a mandate. Don't know what the mandate was? To act like a commission. Something that could never happen before. Something that didn't happen before. And I'm going to tell you why that was. It was because the commission's past and this one in its formative beginning was managed in the same way the Department of Police Service was managed. By instilling fear, by manipulation, by intimidation, and retaliation or threat thereof. Okay, that's exactly what it was. Mr. Von Dassel, Chairman, Commissioner Von Dassel, you asked the question during this time, if it was so bad, why didn't anybody come forward? I just answered your question. I just answered that question. And I'm confident of my statement. And I'm so confident of that fact that I invite anybody that works with me under the roof of 36 Lynn Street, or has worked with me at 225 Main or 6 Custom, to come before this commission and tell them I'm wrong. This commission has done its job and then some, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Jim.
There's no one else in the room. Let's turn to the virtual audience. Would you please virtually raise your hand if you'd like to comment? Larry?
No hands were raised.
Okay. Next item, comments from the chief. Any closing comments?
I think I covered everything I would have to today.
Comments from commissioners.
Sorry.
So
Jim, you still had time.
I'm gonna still take my time. I wanted to say out loud that this is definitely my last police commission. Not gonna cry, won't do it. But I want to say thank you to all here. I want to say thank you to the residents of Old Saybrook who gave me the opportunity to be a police commissioner. And I want to say thank you to our police department because they welcomed all of us in. I hope in some way, in any way at all, I upheld my duties and responsibilities as a police commissioner over the last 4 years. My kids were 4 and 9 when I started this journey. Now they're 8 and 13 and one's going into high school. As much as they have grown, so have I throughout this whole process these past 4 years. My last message to anybody in this town and to everybody, always support our police department, always support Blue, always support the police, and strive to do what is right and best for everyone. Thank you again. That's all. Okay.
Thank you, Jessica.
Yeah, I'd like to say something. I wrote something because I just can't speak unless I get a microphone in front of me, so I had to write something, so just bear with me. With the upcoming election, we have the possibility of new members joining the police commission. So I want to take a moment now to thank this commission for the hard work and dedication. We support the first selectman recommendation to conduct an independent study, and we hired Perth, something no police commission has ever done before. The Board of Selectmen independently prepared and ratified a release and severance agreement with the former chief. The police commission had nothing to do with it. Our commission was then entrusted with the important responsibility of hiring a new police chief, a lengthy and thorough process that Chief Orfino can certainly agree to. This commission has worked tirelessly to guide the department across the finish line, and the effort deserves our sincere appreciation. I just want to thank all of you for how we started in February and got here now, and we got a good chief, and I just want to thank you all for all the hard work you did. Joe?
Well, for Jessica, I would just like to acknowledge with thanks your service on the commission over the last 4 years. We all make accommodations in our lives to participate on town boards and to serve our community and make a difference. Thank you for the time you have contributed. Thank you. And then also, I have one other person I would like to say thanks to, and that's Jen, for all you do to support us here as records clerk and what you did to support the acting chief, because he did actually make that known to us during the transition. And I appreciate your work and professionalism, and you've always been my go-to person if I needed something, so thanks.
Carl?
Well, this won't be very popular, but I was disappointed at Chief Onofri's swearing in where you blatantly snubbed our ex-chief. And as he was a member, he was in the audience, and it just seemed a little petty, and I was disappointed. I didn't want to take away from you swearing in, but, you know, the gentleman did work for the Department of Police Services for over 30 years, and to not recognize him in the crowd or give him an invite was kind of rude. But that's my opinion.
Renee?
Okay, I've prepared something because I just can't go off the cuff because I'll probably freak if I do. So, I would like to echo Mark's sentiments. This commission has accomplished great things. As I face reelection, I want to thank everyone who has supported me over the last 8 years. It hasn't always been easy, but those who know me know that I will never back down from a challenge. I served on the police commission when the last study was voted down by the subcommittee, and I'm grateful that this time with the first selectmen's initiative, we saw it through to completion. Together as a police department, a commission, and a town, we can finally put the past behind us and move forward. I hope to continue serving my community alongside my fellow commissioners as we build on the progress we've made and tackle the work that still lies ahead. It would be an honor to do so, and especially with this group of people. Thank you.
Jackie?
I have two things. One was touching on the chief's welcoming event. The event was certainly lively and well attended. It will be nice moving forward for future engagements with the chief and his department. I would especially like to thank the Old Saybrook Ambulance Service for taking the time out of their busy day to stop by, meet the chief, and say hello to members of our community. I actually overheard a few residents thank them for helping a family member in a distress situation, and they were happy to see them in a situation where an emergency wasn't needed. If I missed any other members of our emergency services, thank you for attending. And in closing, I would like to express my sincere gratitude and respect for each commissioner. It's been an honor and a privilege to work alongside you. For those commissioners running, I wish you much luck. And for each commissioner on this board, I wish you good health and happiness. And finally, it would be remiss of me not to acknowledge and thank our chair's lovely wife, Marcia, who was so graciously prepared an autumn refreshment table for our chief's welcoming event. So please let her know.
I will.
Thank you.
I want to echo something Jill said. You and I have had our differences, Jessica, but I do want to acknowledge your service. And, you know, it's especially good, I think, to have younger people taking the time to serve when you've got a family to take care of too.
Thank you.
I am not going to get into any details about the role the commission played in connection with the severance package for the chief, because all of that was done in executive session or as a search committee. And it would be inappropriate for me to get into that, and that's why I'm maintaining silence on it. But I think it is fair to say the commission was deeply involved. And so far as, I think I'll just stop there. I don't want to get into any more argument. Thank you. Okay, I invite a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.